For Pacifica Radio, I'm Christina Onnested. Vice presidential nominees Republican Ohio Senator J.D. Vance and Democratic Minnesota Governor Tim Walz held their first and possibly only debate this election year last night. Rather than attacking each other, the two running mates targeted the top of their rival tickets, Democrat Kamala Harris and Republican Donald Trump. Catherine Carley reports.
I don't want people who are struggling with addiction to be deprived of their second chance because Kamala Harris let in fentanyl into our communities at record levels.
In the vice presidential debate, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance says he and former President Donald Trump would empower border agents to stop drug trafficking and illegal immigration. Vance blamed immigrants for many problems, from guns to a housing shortage, but he did not say whether he would support Trump's family separation policy. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz didn't attack Vance for spreading the conspiracy theory that Haitian migrants are eating pets, but he did repeatedly point to Trump killing a tough bipartisan immigration bill that would have hired 1,500 border agents.
We fix this issue with a bill that is necessary, but the issue on this is what happens when you don't want to solve it. You demonize it.
In a mostly respectful and policy-heavy 90 minutes, the two clashed on abortion, childcare, January 6th, and the economy. In style, Vance, a Yale-trained lawyer, was smoothly articulate. Walz, the former small-town teacher, was more folksy, at one point calling himself a knucklehead. I'm Catherine Carley for Pacifica Network and Public News Service.
Last night's debate could be the last debate of the presidential election as Donald Trump has backed out of a 60 Minutes election interview that Kamala Harris will participate in, according to the program. Iran launched at least 180 missiles at Israel that in part targeted air bases and Mossad headquarters, according to the Tehran Times. Images show craters from strikes in Israel and an unknown number of destroyed fighter jets. Also hit a school and a restaurant. Israel says the attack failed, that it intercepted most of the missiles. President Joe Biden doubled down U.S. support for Israel, saying forces in the Middle East supported Israel's defenses.
At my direction, the United States military actively supported the defense of Israel, and we're still assessing the impact. But based on what we know now, the attack appears to have been defeated and ineffective. And this is testament to Israeli military capability and the U.S. military. It's also a testament to intensive planning between the United States and Israel to anticipate and defend against the brazen attack we expected. Make no mistake, the United States is fully supportive of Israel.
The Pentagon says it deployed about a dozen interceptors. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is now vowing to retaliate against Iran, saying Tehran will pay, and Iranian commanders threatening wider strikes if Israel retaliates. Iran's president says Israel will face a stronger response than Tuesday's missile strikes. The United Nations Security Council's called an emergency meeting today to address the spiraling conflict. Meanwhile, Israel's foreign minister has banned UN Chief Antonio Guterres from entering the country, accusing him of anti-Israel bias. That move criticized by Germany. In Lebanon, Israel's military is warning people to evacuate another 24 villages in the south, a day after evacuating nearly 30 villages. Quds News is reporting Hezbollah's announced an ambush of an Israeli force. Israel's announced its first combat death. Israel says its ramped-up military operation in southern Lebanon have destroyed over 150 terror infrastructures, including Hezbollah headquarters, weapons storage facilities, and rocket launchers. In southern Gaza, an Israeli ground offensive and airstrikes killed at least 51 Palestinians, including children. Israel's continued to strike what it says are militant targets across the Gaza Strip, nearly a year after Hamas's October 7th massacre that ignited the war in Palestine. On Tuesday, the U.S. imposed sanctions on Hilltop Youth, a group of extremist settlers in the Israeli-occupied West Bank who attack Palestinians and their property. The sanctions also targeted 2 Israeli men connected to violence against Palestinians. State Department spokesman Matthew Miller said the actions of these individuals have contributed to creating an environment where violence and instability thrive. He also said it undermines peace, security, and stability in the West Bank. President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris will visit the Southeast to survey damage from Hurricane Helene today. They're seeking to demonstrate a commitment and competence in helping devastated communities after Donald Trump's false attacks on the administration's response. Harris will stop in Georgia, Biden will visit the Carolinas, where residents are still lacking running water, cell phone service, and electricity as rescuers continue their search. Hurricane Helene is one of the deadliest storms in recent U.S. history. It's knocked out power and cellular service for millions. The death toll has topped 160. I'm Christina Onnested reporting for Pacifica Radio.